40 mark. And he goes, really? And I said, yeah, really. I always use this. Really, really, really? And they took their metal detectors, and within a matter of minutes, they found this spot that was going beep, 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 beep. And they dug, I don't think he said it was very far, half a foot. And they found a gold ring from 1924.
Oh, wow.
And I said, let me tell you the bad news. And he goes, what? And I said, there's nothing else there. And they go, no, they swear there's a Civil War payroll here. I said, okay, do you want to pay me to sound stupid and say there's nothing there? Or do you want me to just say it to you and leave me alone and go away? There's nothing there. You're on 6 acres. Go ahead and work it. There's nothing there. You're going to waste your entire day. They called me back, and there was nothing else there. They did all the acres. There was nothing there.
Wow.
Like you went to your bathroom for your fob, wasn't there. You went to your bedroom, nothing there. And I was taken right to the kitchen, from the dream. I go to the blender, go to the stove, go to this, go to that. And I tell people, pay attention to these details. It's very important.
Now, changing it to the Casey Anthony case.
Yeah.
What can you tell the listeners about that?
Honestly, I am so disgusted with the fact that the media is giving them so much attention. We have so many other cases that are so critical. And I'll cover it real quick, because how much time do we have? We have an hour?
No, we got about 22 minutes left.
Okay, I'll just say this real quick. Got a call from a guy who talked to my dad. My dad was helping him with some stuff, and he wanted to learn dowsing. So my dad was teaching him dowsing. And I teach dowsing, and then the rates vary. Oh, by the way, with the treasure case, 60 bars of silver, they paid me $300 for the readings, $500 for the find, and they found 60 bars of silver. In your mind, is that worth it? Hell yeah, it's worth it. It's fun. So I just want to let people know. Now, on missing persons, the way I work with missing persons is I have a fee, and if you're nice to me, I give you a cut rate. If you're not nice to me, I give you the full fee, and that's the way it works. And people are mean. I mean, people call here, and they've yelled and screamed at me, tell me where my kid is. I mean, I've had a movie star call me, where's my boyfriend? And I said, okay, your boyfriend's in Mexico, so it's $1,200, and if you don't give me the maps too, it's $1,000 admin fee, which means I have to pay as a college student to come over here and help me with all the maps. And she goes, she basically said, well, beep, beep, I'm not going to pay you, and that's too much, and yada, yada. Okay, he's been missing for 2 years now. She paid a PI over $100,000 to find him. But she didn't want to pay me to help find the guy.
Now, was he alive or dead?
No, he's dead. I mean, he was driving his Harley through Mexico. What do you think happened to him?
Well, the pirate, I hate to say it, in Mexico, I mean, 99% of Mexico, if you're out driving a nice car, or if you're on a motorcycle, I don't care if it's a Honda or Suzuki or a Harley, they got the bandits there, the pirates. They
have bandits.
Yeah, they're
but see, here's the problem is, here's the problem. Just like hiking, you could have luck for 5 years and the next year get bitten by the mountain lion. You know what I mean? When you're in Mexico, you're going to have the same crap. You have luck for 5 years. It's going great. You're fine. And then the bandits come and get you and you disappear. And it is what it is. It's not a stupid alien coming to get you. It is what it is. And I do believe in alien abduction. I get it. But there are times when we have those evil people out there that are monsters, and you got this beautiful, bright, shiny Harley, and it is what it is. But she decided to go spend $100,000 on finding him, and they never found him, which they will eventually find him, maybe in 17 years, but 30 years.
Yeah, well, what's bad about Harleys? Some of them cost more. Well, that's what upset my wife. Mm-hmm. The last Harley I bought cost more than her new car did. Because she
no
felt...
doubt.
Yeah, I mean, when she bought her new car, she knew I wanted a new bike, and she said, oh, go out and get one. Then I came home with my bike, and she goes, you paid $10,000 for more than what I paid for my car. She was really mad.
Mm-hmm. I don't get mad about stuff like that. I get mad about not getting sleep. So, we all have a different approach about our life. But I would tell her, it is what it is, honey. Thank you. I love you. I beg you to let me have it and enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
But, so I tell women, if you let them have their little toy, then you get to do a lot more stuff. And so you have that tit for tat crap, and you can pull his string and say, "You got your Harley. I'm going to the cabin for the weekend with the girls."
Oh, yeah.
With my 45.
yeah, be better. So what happened on the Casey Anthony case? I mean, on that.
So we'll wrap this up. So basically, a guy by the name of whatever, I'll call him Mr. Smith because he's pissed me off so bad. Luke Phillips. He called my dad. My dad said, "I don't locate missing people." Everybody thought my dad did it. My dad and I lived lived 4 hours away from each other. Luke called me. We finally met. I pinpointed a location within 2 to 4 weeks of talking to him on the phone. And what had happened was he got me on the phone with Dominic Casey, the PI, who wasn't a PI. He was just some guy playing PI. And because I'm a former PI, so I know. I asked him, "What is your PI license number?" "I don't have one." I said, "Well, then you're not a PI, and you can't go around saying you're a PI." And he goes, "No, I'm a PI." I said, "Okay, are you a PI under the auspices of the license of the lawyer?" And he goes, "Yes." I said, "Well, you're still not a PI, okay, by law." And in Florida law, because I've lectured in Florida before to like 500 people, and I also talked to other PIs in Florida. I said, "You're not a PI." Anyway, so to make a long story short, he only knew so much from just, what do you call that? Learn and turn, I call it. And it means you learn it, trial and error, you fail, or you learn this way and you turn the other way. You learn this way, it was a mess. Anyway, I got on the phone with him and he told me, I told him where I thought the body was. And he goes, can't be. She's supposed to be alive. And it was another saga after a saga after a saga. So it was a true fight with them that she was right down the street from an abandoned house that had been foreclosed on, that had high grass. Just like you, I gave all these details. And then finally they wouldn't listen to me, and I was getting really pissed off about it because I didn't want to waste time. I mean, I'd gone through the summer with it. I had already given them the location. And then I saw in the news, I heard in the news, some, some telephone guy smelled something weird and said there's a body over there and blah, blah. And then I heard there was a reward. And I would have been entitled to the reward had these idiots gone to the location I told them. And they go, "No, she can't be there." So finding a missing person is definitely a double-edged sword. Sometimes you get cooperation, sometimes you don't. On that particular case, they were just, not Luke Phillips, but Bozo the Clown, what's his name? Mr. Casey was using the case, and they were just using it to get media attention. And then they would turn around, and whatever I would say, they would turn it around and say, "Ginette said this, Ginette said that." They called Geraldo, who knew my father. He tried to interview my father, and they said, "Ginette said that the baby was taken to Puerto Rico by Casey," which is bull. Never once said that. They called me and said, "Let's go on the story that she's been taken to Puerto Rico, and we want you to search Puerto Rico and see what you get." I said, "I don't get anything. I don't even get a plane. I don't think she got on the plane. This girl is not the brightest she's not the best of the best. She's just not bright. She's doing drugs. She's not thinking straight. The baby's right down the goddamn street." And so what he did do was he got these other two women on the phone with me, and they tried to tell me where the body was. And I said, "No, the body's not there. I'm getting something else." And they go, "Well, it's near a fence." I was like, "There's no fence." Anyway, to make a long story short, these other two women out of Pennsylvania are saying they told me where the body was. Now, I found over 20 missing people. I just found your key fob by talking to you on the phone, which validates my credibility. They have never found anybody ever. And so finally, in the fall of the year she was found, so she went missing, I think, in May or June. So in the fall, Finally, Dominic Casey's on the phone with me. I call him. They sent me a teddy bear. The next day I had a dream, or within a week I had a dream of where the body was. It was the same exact spot I had told them in June. And I said, she's not sitting on the street on the curb. I see a Suburban, and I see 3 pavers the size of a hand. And I said, walk past the house that was abandoned and go back in the woods, and she's right there. You can't miss her. And I said, it's going to look like a bunch of trash because she was put in, I want to say, a laundry bag or a trash bag and a laundry bag. It's all lined up, but the animals got it, and it looks like a bunch of trash all out there. So you're going to be looking at bone that looks like trash. And he goes, no, that can't be. And I said, yeah, it was an accident. It is what it is. I said, just go find the body and tell the cops, and you're good to go. You know what happened? I'm on the phone talking to him, so I had proof with Nancy Grace that I was on the phone with him. It took me 2 weeks to get proof because Virginia is a state. We do hard copy. We don't do hard copy. We do what's called, you get the bill in the mail, and then you don't get all the telephone calls. You know what I mean? So I had to order the phone bill and give that to her to prove I was talking to him. And I said, now go into the woods. She's right there. I can tell she's right there. I said, plus I can smell it. I can tell right away. She's right there. And he goes, no, it can't be. There's snakes here. I got to go. So he left me, and I got pissed, and I called a news reporter, and I said, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I need some help. And she goes, what? I said, I need some help. I said, I just sent Dominic Casey over to where the baby is, and he's not doing anything about it. And I got to the point where I was just so pissed off that they were doing nothing. They just wanted to keep going with the story and going. And you can see even today, they're still going and going like a little Duracell bunny wasting our time talking about this case. It was an accident. It happened. Whatever happened, who cares? It's over. And the body was right there where I said. And I kept saying, I see Suburban. Did you know I just found out this past year that the body was on Suburban Street? I didn't even know that.
Oh, wow.
And they never even sent me a map. Did you send me a map of your house? No. I do all this from my home in the Richmond, Virginia area. I do it in my head. It's like a little programming system, and it's like boom, 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 and I pay attention, and that's how I do it. I mean, it's a little bit more complicated, but the key thing is you were willing to try to find your key fob, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cooperation. And if I pick up a person who's willing to cooperate, the chances of them finding or solving a mystery is huge. It's just huge. I mean, people call me all the time. I'll tell you a quick story about a sweater, a missing sweater. I'll wrap this up. I had a client call. She had a missing sweater, and I said, it went from your house to the trunk of a car to some woman's house who starts with a J. And I said, Joyce, Janet, it's a J. Like, think about it, J. Joyce, Janet. I said, it feels so strong. And she goes, no, there's no way. My client, 2 weeks before, had a friend come over by the name of Joyce. And Joyce goes, my client, let's call her Susie. Susie was donating a bunch of clothes to the Goodwill. This happens to all of us. This is why the paranormal has so many variables. And you're a paranormal specialist, so you ought to know. The woman, Susie, accidentally put her dry cleaning next to the Goodwill items. So her girlfriend, Joyce, grabbed all the items, threw them in the trunk of her car, which Susie said there's no way. Well, she didn't realize that Joyce had put the stuff in the trunk of the car. And then they went from Joyce's trunk over to Joyce's house because Joyce found the purple sweater and everything else and kept whatever she wanted, and the rest went to Goodwill. Get my drift?
Oh, yeah. I do.
And this is how things go missing. And so the woman goes, you're telling me my purple sweater is at my friend's house, starting with the letter J like Joyce or Janet or something like that. And I said, yes. Go through your little, address book and find the Joyce or Janet, whatever, and you're going to find your purple sweater. She goes, Jeanette, seriously. I said, did you just pay me $150 to find your $10,000 designer sweater? Yes. Why would I make it up?